What's up guys, it's Tim Kearns and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since my last video on Rocket League and it's just there's not been really anything fun to play besides Survivor, and I already did that series to death, and I feel like I've got other footage from Survivor, but I feel like I didn't really want to post it. So what you're seeing today is XDefiant. Obviously everybody's been talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it too. My thoughts, what I generally think is good about the game, what's bad about the game, you know the dealio. So we'll jump right into it. So the first thing I want to say about XDefiant is I love the maps. I think the maps design is incredible. I like how they're pulling in from all their other games that they've made, that being, Ghost Recon and sorry, not Tom Clancy, whatever the spy game's called. I sound like such an idiot right now, but I really love how they're pulling in all these things, and it just gives me a Call of Duty feel. And the game modes, as you can probably tell, I'm playing Hardpoint Domination. That's pretty much all I was playing during the beta. But I think the game does what Call of Duty should do, and it makes the experience that much better than it already is. Now, I think for the most part the operators are pretty good. As you can see in this gameplay, I'm not using the Splinter Cell operator. I'm using the one that gives you the health boost. It kind of reminds me of like a Black Ops 4 stim, even though the cooldown's a lot better and is a lot longer. But I think that's good because it keeps you from just spamming the thing over and over and over again, which I think really aids to the gameplay and doesn't make it feel so as you're just in a stim battle the entire time you're playing, and I think that really helps out with a character that can heal themselves at will. Now, what I will say about the gameplay is that the gunplay feels really good. It feels very solid, but the movement, something's off about the movement. I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just because Call of Duty's so fast-paced and this one's a lot slower, and it just feels like, unless you're running an MP7 or an MP5 or whatever submachine gun you're using, that makes you a lot faster. I don't know, but it just feels like, in essence, this game is just a lot slower and it's a lot more tactical, and it takes a lot longer to traverse the map, whereas in Call of Duty you can probably get from one end of the map to the other in like 10 seconds, So I feel like in this sense, and maybe it's just because the maps are bigger, I'm not quite sure, but all I know is that it just felt like whenever I was playing, I had almost like ankle weights on the entire time, and for me that's a good thing. I'm not a very fast player. You can probably tell in the gameplay. I just kind of go from head glitch to head glitch, and maybe that's just on me for thinking this way. But as an AR player predominantly, it feels very slow, and I don't know how submachine gun players feel about this, even though the game seems more catered to people with a slower play style. Now let's talk about the bad things, because there are some bad things. I think that the one Splinter Cell power-up is way too overpowered. It's like a golden gun in Destiny, and maybe that's the point. There's way too many shots that you can hit with it. I think 6 might be the number that they need to stick with, instead of having, 10 or 12 like a normal pistol has bullets in it. But I think that overall, that is the one that most people are using. And I didn't really find much use for anybody else, other than the Splinter Cell one and the character that I'm using that can heal other characters as well as yourself with the ultimate ability. Now I'm going to talk about the two I hate the most. Oh my god, is the fucking riot shield guy and the guy with the spider bot. The spider bot is so damn annoying, it's incredible to me. Like, I don't even think that Call of Duty would do something like that with that stupid spider bot. I mean, it is so annoying. The hitbox is so small, and it's just, it's such a pain in the ass to deal with. I hate it. It's the worst thing in this game by far. And the Reinhardt shield, who is just super annoying to deal with because you can shoot through it. I would understand if the Reinhardt shield, if you could put it down and you couldn't shoot through it, that being the person that put the shield down, but the person that put the shield down can. So it just creates this new barrier for people to have to deal with, and they just don't move from behind it. They can just shoot from behind it, and I think that needs to be changed when the game finally does come out. The other thing I'll say is that they must have taken studio notes from Activision because the footsteps are so damn loud. I can hear everyone, including myself, from such a long distance away, and it feels like me, especially my character, like I could never tell if it was me that was stomping around or if it was a teammate or if it was an enemy because the footsteps are just so loud. And you would have thought by now that people would understand that, you know, maybe footsteps shouldn't be super loud, at least in a video game. I understand it's somewhat realistic, but I mean, come on, like, you gotta know that footsteps are going to be something that is super important. And with a game with no perks like this has, like I think that footsteps need to be fixed here for. But I think the customization is good with the guns. I like the attachments. It's got a Black Ops 2, you know, feel to it, a Modern Warfare 2 feel to it. It's almost like a pick 10 system without the perks, and I think that's good for the game. And I think that's what the game does well. I think that's something that Call of Duty needs to redo instead of having the 8 million perk system and the 19,000 different attachments and, you know, all the reticles that slightly modify something and all that, because it makes the game much more simpler. And for a new player, it really helps the experience because they don't have to try so many different combinations of things to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And it also tailors to different playstyles because you can make a super heavy weapon where you don't move around as much, or you can make a super light weapon that moves around, or you can make one in the middle. And I think that that's something that this game does well that a lot of games don't do. Additionally, I think the game modes are pretty good. Like I said, obviously it's a small sample size, they're not going to release everything, but I think the, you know, you've got your typical hardpoint, domination, escort mode, kill confirm mode. They need a more tactical mode, maybe a search and destroy or a capture the flag kind of thing. But overall, I think the things that they've got really work well and really work with these characters, and so that's something I think works out for them. But overall, I don't know. I think this game is going to do well. It just depends on how Ubisoft, you know, kind of markets the game and continues to update it. They say that they're going to have updates every 3 months, but I don't know if that's feasible in the long run, or if it's even going to happen from Ubisoft, because of, you know, that's just Ubisoft and that's just something they do. And so I really don't know. I can see this game being big for a while and then kind of dying down once the hype wears off. But, you know, it's just one of those things that's like, you like this game at first, and I really enjoyed the beta, and, you know, I had a lot of fun with it, but is this going to kill COD is the main question. I don't think so. I think it'll take players away from COD, and I think that it will lower the player base, and I think COD players will be asking for stuff like this. It'll ultimately come back to Call of Duty anyway, even though, you know, this game, at least in the gunplay and the gameplay overall, is just better. It just reminds us of a Black Ops 3 or an Infinite Warfare without the boots. That's the best comparison I can make to it. It's Black Ops 3 with boots on the ground and no advanced movement. And I think that's why a lot of people like this game, is because it's what they wanted Black Ops 3 to be, a little more so than Black Ops 3 what it was. And so I think that helps this game out well, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking for in a shooter right now, and in something like that. But I had a little bit of performance issues with the game. I think it may just be due to the servers not having enough capacity, which is fine. It's a beta. I didn't expect it to be polished or anything like that. And I think that the game will do well, like I mentioned before. But I don't really think that this will kill Call of Duty. Unfortunately, I think in the end, Call of Duty is going to be completely fine, and I think that, you know, we as COD fans are going to have to deal with the fact that there are better shooters out there, and there are better first-person shooters out there, and Call of Duty, until the game starts to lose massive amounts of profit and revenues, I mean, there's just no way for Call of Duty to change, and I think that that's the unfortunate truth behind it, and I think we all need to accept that. as Call of Duty fans and as fans of the franchise. And this game is just another reminder that Call of Duty can do it. It's possible, but you know it's not that hard, and we're seeing that developers are having success with FPSs, and Call of Duty better, you know, figure it out, or else kids may go and play this game, which is, you know, where the money might go as well. If it hurts Call of Duty's bottom line, it will kill. This could kill Call of Duty if the money's there, if the attention's put in the right place, and if all the big streamers are playing it, because unfortunately that's what the kids listen to, that's what they emulate. So yeah, to any streamers out there, if you want to kill COD, this is how you do it right here. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I'll try to be a little more consistent with uploads, but like I said, it's just tough with all the games out there. Not really something I think is video worthy. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.